Hi folks. How's your foot? Getting better?
Yeah.
It's the beginning of the spring term at King's Langley School in Hertfordshire. Gary Lewis is head teacher. His simple mission statement is happy students.
Do me a favour, gentlemen. Yeah, I know it's not you, but grab 2 crisp bags and stick them in a bin for me, all right? Well done.
Raising standards of behaviour and academic achievement is key to his task. In the 5 years since Gary took over, he's relaunched the school, taken it out of an underachieving Ofsted category and turned it around.
We're now quite massively oversubscribed and had the nice accolade of being the 2nd most improved school at Key Stage 3 this year. But we're not the finished article.
One of Gary's biggest challenges is to improve the results at Key Stage 4. As Year 11 arrives for the first assembly of term, Gary has some tough words for them.
If you expect to get what you think you're going to get in those exams without sacrifice, then I think you need to think again. You make sure that you prepare to be able to make choices in your life by ensuring you work hard over the next few months.
As the term goes on, the progress of students in Year 11 will be under intense scrutiny. A lot is at stake for Gary and the school.
If I think about it deeply, it's extraordinarily worrying because the pressure that we as a school are under to achieve with this particular cohort is enormous. I really can't see how we could recover from a scenario where we didn't continue to make progress on last year.
Morning lads, you all okay? Yeah, good.
Raising academic standards goes hand in hand with tackling behaviour, and Gary keeps a close eye on what's going on.
I come around the school every morning break and every lunch break. It's my chance to really sort of put a dipstick finger into what's going on. Everything all right at the moment?
Yeah.
Behaviour in your class, what's it like?
Yes.
Not too bad? Seriously, not too bad?
Some people.
When I arrived at the school originally, behavioural issues and everything about managing behaviour was the key issue for the school. So I introduced something trying to sort of bring a bit of a parallel with what goes on in the football world and the sporting world, and that's the red card system.
The more red cards a student receives, the more the sanctions escalate, from detention to isolation to exclusion. Today there's a student in isolation working on his own in the corridor outside Gary's office.
Today I got removed from maths first period. It's been naughty throughout school year. I've got 21 red cards at the moment for disrupting, chewing gum, being cheeky to teachers. If I did get permanently excluded, I wouldn't be worried because I'd just go to a different school. But I wouldn't like to go to a different school because I do like King's Langley. It is a good school.
Gary's card system gives him a chance.
So if you get a red card, you've got to be good for 3 or 6 lessons, and then the red card disappears and you get a blue card, which takes away the red card light.
Rates of permanent exclusion have dropped sharply since Gary took over.
When I first arrived at the school, I was probably permanently excluding an average of 7 or 8 youngsters a year, which is quite a bit. And I've only really excluded 1 youngster in the last 18 months.
For Gary, improving behaviour is closely linked with high standards of dress and personal presentation.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, you know the rule, one behind the other. If you're not dressed properly, you don't go in. There was no uniform when I arrived here at all. There was no sense of corporate identity. The youngsters didn't associate themselves with a good school. So we introduced blazers and new badge and ties and everything else, fairly traditional. But the youngsters suddenly, I'm dressed properly now, I'm in a proper school, and therefore I'm going to behave properly.
But today, as every day, Gary has an ongoing battle over ties.
What's the matter with your tie? Look, see that? Do yours just like that. Spencer, come here. Right, now do we need to have a special session on how to do ties up? You and I are going to fall out over your tie, aren't we? Hey? What have I said before? Come on, you look very smart otherwise.
A week later, a group of Year 8 students is under the spotlight.
Just sit yourselves down there. Okay. I feel a bit nervous. Not many people come down here for good things, really. I'm really nervous.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, come in. One key aspect about managing any behaviour, as well as, of course, sanctions, is to ensure that there are adequate rewards. I get frustrated about the fact that I spend a lot of time with youngsters who are struggling in different ways.
And it means I don't see the 95% of the youngsters in the school who are doing extremely well.
Handing out head teachers' commendations allows him to do just that.
I will agree with Mr. Shepherd, it's exceptional work. And it's lovely for me to be able to give you the head teacher's commendation. You know that these are not given out lightly, and it's something that really you should treasure. Outstanding, Lalika, well done indeed.
Thank you.
Head Teachers Awards are not just for youngsters who have achieved high academic standards or have worked terribly hard. We use them sometimes when youngsters have really, really pulled their socks up in all sorts of different ways. There's a young man in Year 8 who has struggled since he's been here. He's had difficulties. I really, in all honesty, didn't think that this young man would pull it round, but he has done. Billy, what have you normally been up here for before?
Getting in trouble.
Getting in trouble. And it's not been nice, has it?
No.
I've been astonished, as has everybody else. You've put your nose down, you've gone on with work, and this is a well-deserved commendation. Look, Billy, it says for outstanding effort and self-control, improving behaviour and attitude to school. What does it feel like?
Much better than getting in trouble.
Much better than getting in trouble. Well done to you.
With an effective behaviour management policy and successful Key Stage 3 results, all now hinges on the critical Key Stage 4 results.
I'm stressed about your exams, and I know you're stressed about your exams, so we'll work on it together. This is a tough few weeks, and we're going to be at it hard, working hard and playing hard. Key Stage 4, our youngsters still perform below their predicted performance. Ofsted could say your Key Stage 4 results are not good enough, and therefore technically we could be placed in a, say, notice to improve category. My assistant head, John McGrory, who is responsible for the Key Stage 4, is launching our booster programme, as we call it.
The booster group, as it stands, starts on Monday.
35 students have been identified who, although failing to get their predicted grades in their trial exams, stand a chance of achieving them with a carefully planned programme of tuition and mentoring.
I was chosen probably because I'm not really achieving my grades, because I normally just sit at home playing Xbox or on the computer all day, so I don't really revise at home.
Even though Jack's bright, I wouldn't say he's very well motivated. It was quite disappointing really when I came to the open evening that he wasn't getting the grades that he could get, because he's very clever, you know.
We know that you are a crucial group for the school, and also that this is a crucial time for you. We'll be checking on whether all the coursework is up to date and whether actually that coursework is of standard that actually is good enough for you and the grade that you should be getting. And we'll be putting you on the spot.
It is a lot of work, but we try and identify those students where that work will reap the most reward.
So we're trying to desperately make sure that what happens at the end of August when you get your GCSE results ensures that you have maximum choice in the future. Please see this as a big investment in your futures, because that's exactly what it is. I don't want anybody at the end of August saying, oh no, oh God, I so wanted to do that and now I can't. I don't want anybody facing that.
The booster group begins with the first after-school session, each student working on areas he or she needs to improve, with input from John.
It's not really ducking for us.
Okay, but part of this book is, it's not entirely just a horror story, is it? I mean, to a degree, it's also a bit like a detective story, isn't it?
2, 3.
And from Gary.
So if you were plotting this on your graph, you'd plot 1 to 1, wouldn't you? So that line is going to be where x equals y. PE coursework, right.
Yeah.
What's your task? What do you actually have to do?
Personal exercise program.
All right, okay.
Hopefully for this, it'll make me more committed to achieve my grades. Staying on is really a bit annoying because I could just be at home, but then I wouldn't really be revising or doing all the stuff I'll be doing in there. So I think it's a bit of a nuisance, but it's got to be done really.
I'm delighted. I think it's an excellent start. It's virtually 100% turnout, and bearing in mind that it's semi-voluntary, I'm actually really pleased with it. It's good. It's going well.
It's after school on Thursday and another booster group session.
I'm just trying to complete my geography coursework because we got back the other day and I just need to make some corrections on it. to improve my grade.
A crucial part of the Booster Group programme is the mentoring sessions. Gary is mentoring 3 students. He wants to know what they're getting out of the booster classes.
Well, it's made me revise more because I can concentrate more at school.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you feeling the benefits of that?
Yeah.
What about yourself, Jack? How's that going?
I just try and get coursework done in the boost classes.
Right.
And it's just really helpful. You get teachers there.
Right.
And whenever you're stuck or need a bit of help,
Right.
a teacher's there.
Is it getting easier to work at home or not? And be honest about that at the moment. Or is it a case of, I've done my Monday and that's it? What do you think, Jack?
I don't think it's easier, but I think it gives you more like motivation to do it at home.
Right.
Because if you you don't get it all done on Monday.
Right.
So you want to finish it by the next booster class.
Ah, you want to finish it. You think you're beginning to feel like that now?
Yeah.
Do you have a TV in your bedroom?
I do, but it's not working at the moment, actually.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want it fixed. Don't get it fixed. Well, lovely to speak to you. I'm sorry to keep you waiting out there. You want to get yourselves back, and I will speak to you individually from now on in. All right? Okay. Good, guys. Off you go. Thank you very much.
At break times, Gary's still out and about, this time checking students' head-of-year reports.
I'm delighted with this. This is a real improvement. Excellent, fabulous, on a roll. You've sort of shot yourself in the foot, because now that we've seen that, I don't want you going back downhill again. But Matthew, it must be much better getting this sort of thing rather than me barking at you or internal isolation, isn't it? Morning, young fella. How are you? All right?
Morning, yeah.
A week later, Jack has a one-to-one mentoring session with Gary.
I read your report again in detail, and I've highlighted something which I think pretty well sums it all up. That's something you need to focus on. It's saying, bright young man, smashing guy, but at the moment isn't taking responsibility for what's coming. You know, no clear aspirations. You're not linking your work on your examination courses with what's going to happen in the future. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would agree with that, but in recent weeks I've been turning that around a bit.
Good.
And I've been aiming for goals, like for example, tomorrow coursework's got to be in.
Yeah.
So I've really been working hard to try and get everything done.
You should really, well, you know, minimum you should be getting is B, 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 B. Well, that's, you know, if you're getting that, Jack, across here, B, 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 that's full-blooded 4 A-level course going off to a quality university to do the degree of your choice.
He's quite good at giving advice, because he's really positive about it, and he just keeps encouraging you.
The last day of the spring term.
Cheerio, folks. Have a good Easter, Hannah. Report's okay, girls? What's it like? Good? Good.
But it's not holiday yet for the booster group. Jack arrives the following Monday for the 3-day Easter revision school.
Jack clearly has had a sea change in attitude. He's beginning to develop that internal aspiration now, and the realisation on his part that he can take control of his life and therefore determine the breadth that's available to him in the future, I think has really been a success story.